Welcome to Convertible Verse. Today we are talking about a car that cost over $200,000, looks like it was designed by someone who considers ugliness a personal insult, and carries the name of a brand that has been building some of the most passionate cars on earth for over 100 years. But here's the thing, this car exists at the center of one of the most dramatic stories in the luxury auto world right now. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, because we cover the most exclusive convertibles on the planet right here on this channel. And check the description below, there are some links down there worth your time. Now, don't skip ahead, because later in this video we're going to get into something about this car and the brand behind it that almost nobody is talking about, and once you hear it, it's going to completely change how you look at this machine. This is the Maserati Grand Cabrio, and the story is a lot bigger than the car itself. Now, imagine a car that costs over $200,000, a car that looks like it was sculpted by someone who genuinely hates the idea of anything ugly existing in the world. A car with a hand-built Italian engine that sounds like it has a personal grudge against silence. You'd think something like that would be flying off the shelves. You'd think dealerships would have waiting lists. You'd think people would be talking about it constantly. And yet, Maserati is in serious trouble. Their sales collapsed, their parent company threatened to shut them down, and the Grand Cabrio, the most beautiful car in their current lineup, somehow couldn't save them. That story is a lot more interesting than the car specs, and we're going to get into all of it. But first, what actually is the Grand Cabrio? Because this isn't just another Italian convertible. This car has a lineage that goes back over 100 years to 6 brothers in Bologna who were so obsessed with motorsport that they built their first race car and immediately entered it into one of the most brutal road races in Europe, and won. That was 1926. The Maserati name has meant something in the world of serious cars ever since. The Trident logo, inspired by the Neptune fountain in Bologna, became one of the most recognized symbols in automotive history. So when they finally unveiled the new Grand Cabrio, the weight of that legacy was sitting on every panel. The design itself is stunning, and most people who see it in person agree on that. Long hood, wide haunches, a fabric soft top that folds away in under 15 seconds while you're still moving at up to 30 miles per hour. 5 different roof colors. A palette of wild exterior options through their Forestieri customization program. Things like hyper green, digital mint matte, orange glow. This is not a car for people who want to blend in. The proportions are nearly 5 meters long, making it a genuine 4-seater convertible in a world where most rivals make you fold adults into something resembling a carry-on bag. You can actually bring real people in the back. That's rare at this level. Under the hood, and this is where it gets genuinely exciting, sits the Nettuno engine. That name means Neptune, same as the Trident. It's a 3-liter twin-turbocharged V6, and calling it just a V6 is like calling a Michelin-starred restaurant just a place that serves food. This engine was originally developed for the MC20 supercar, which is Maserati's mid-engine, Ferrari-fighting 2-seat weapon. They tuned it down slightly for the Grand Cabrio to 542 horsepower, 542 all-wheel drive, 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. Top speed of 196 miles per hour in an open-top Grand Tourer. The exhaust note at high revs, according to people who've driven it, sounds almost angry, like it resents being asked to stay calm in city traffic. And there's something thrilling about that in a car this elegant. But there's also the Folgore version, and this is where Maserati went somewhere almost no one else has dared to go. Folgore means lightning in Italian, and that's exactly what they were going for. 3 electric motors, 751 horsepower, 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. And here's the headline. This is the world's first fully electric luxury convertible. There is nothing else like it on the planet right now. The battery is T-shaped, running through the center and under the floor to keep weight distribution balanced. It can charge on an 800-volt architecture, meaning rapid charging is genuinely fast. The range sits somewhere between 250 and 300 miles. And when you press the accelerator, the silence is replaced almost immediately by a synthesized sound Maserati engineered specifically for this car, because they understood that an electric car with no drama is a missed opportunity. Now here's where the story gets darker. Because despite all of this, the stunning design, the incredible performance, the historic legacy, Maserati is fighting for survival in a way that most people paying $200,000 for one of these cars probably don't know about. Their parent company Stellantis watched Maserati's global sales drop from 26,600 cars in 2023 to just 11,300 in 2024. That's not a dip, that's a collapse. And then Stellantis pulled a planned 1.5 billion euro investment out of Maserati almost entirely, canceling future electric models before they even launched. The CEO of Stellantis at the time actually said publicly, "We'll shut them down if they don't make money." That's the kind of thing you say about a struggling budget brand, not about one of the oldest and most storied names in Italian motorsport history. But that's where things stood. Why did this happen? That question has a messy answer. Part of it is reliability. Maserati spent years building a reputation for being beautiful but unreliable, with owners reporting electrical gremlins, convertible top issues, premature wear, and sensors that would throw warnings on cars with barely any miles on them. People who paid serious money for a dream car and spent weekends at the dealership instead of on the open road. That word gets around. The other part is identity. Critics have pointed out that Maserati's cars started looking a little too much like their competitors. One longtime owner publicly said the new Grand Cabrio could be mistaken for a Jaguar F-Type from the front. And that's not the kind of thing someone who loved the brand for its uniqueness says as a compliment. When you lose Pininfarini's design influence and start building cars in-house, the results are good, but maybe not iconic in the same way. And then there's the elephant in the room, the electric strategy. Maserati bet enormously on the idea that wealthy buyers would rush toward electric vehicles. They launched the Folgore versions of their cars. They planned full electrification by 2030. They invested in the technology. And the buyers didn't come. Journalists loved the Folgore, reviewers praised the performance, the refinement, the technology, but actual buyers walked away. Maserati was reportedly offering discounts as high as $85,000 on some of their electric models just to move them. On a $200,000 car, that number is staggering, and it tells you everything about the gap between what Maserati thought would happen and what actually happened in the real world. There's something almost poetic and tragic about the Grand Cabrio sitting in the middle of all of this. Because on its own terms, as an object, as an experience, as a piece of rolling Italian artistry, it genuinely is extraordinary. Reviewers who've spent time with the Trofeo version talk about an engine that fizzes and rasps all the way past 7,000 RPM in a way that makes you feel like the car is alive. The interior is lined with hand-stitched leather and carbon fiber. There's a Sonus Faber audio system, the same brand that makes some of the most coveted hi-fi speakers in the world, made in Vicenza, Italy, the same country. The soft-top mechanism is whisper smooth. The Fora Siri customization program means you can configure this car in a combination that almost certainly nobody else will ever replicate. In a world of homogenized luxury, that matters, but the critics have been fair too. The ride quality doesn't quite settle on an identity. It never fully commits to being a grand tour or a sports car, floating in a no man's land where it's fast but not sharp, comfortable but not truly indulgent. The body has a slight wobble at high speeds that you don't find in the best of its rivals. The brakes, at least in early models, had a screech in everyday driving that felt genuinely out of place on a car at this price point. And the rear seats, while genuinely usable for adults, required Maserati to push them slightly forward to accommodate the folding roof, meaning legroom is tighter than the car's exterior size suggests. Small things maybe for a car that does so much right. But at $200,000 and above, people notice small things. What does all of this mean for the Grand Cabrio going forward? Right now, Maserati is quietly testing a facelifted version. Spy shots have surfaced showing revised front bumpers, new air intakes, updated taillights. Production was recently moved from Turin back to Maserati's home in Modena, alongside the MC20. That feels meaningful, like a return to roots, a tightening of focus. The brand has a new CEO, a new direction, and the kind of pressure that either destroys a company or forces it to produce something genuinely great. And historically, when Maserati's back is against the wall, that second thing tends to happen. The Grand Cabrio exists at a crossroads of past and future, of combustion and electric, of an iconic brand trying to figure out who it is in a world that keeps changing the rules. At its best, it's the answer to a question most people didn't know they were asking. What does an Italian Grand Touring convertible feel like when built with 21st century technology and a 100-year-old soul? The answer is complicated and layered and sometimes contradictory, which honestly might be exactly what makes it so fascinating. Whether Maserati survives the next decade in its current form, whether the Grand Cabrio gets to have a third generation, whether the electric revolution finally clicks for them, none of that is certain. But what is certain is that right now, in this exact moment, this car is one of the most interesting things on four wheels. And if you're the kind of person who buys a car with their heart before their head, the Grand Cabrio will absolutely break yours. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel grow, and we have a lot more convertibles coming that you will not want to miss. And don't forget to check the description below for affiliate links. Some useful stuff down there for car enthusiasts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.